Well, hello, hello. How are you doing? How are you doing? This is the S. Anthony Says podcast. This is the S. Anthony Thomas, and this is episode number 295, which means 5 more episodes, 5 more weeks, and I will be recording episode number 300. Oh yeah, which technically would be I'll be recording it on the 31st, and that would mean the year will end at episode number 300. And, but this is 295, so we'll just worry about this one right now, damn it, because I haven't decided what I'm going to do with episode number 300. I haven't decided whether or not I'm going to do a best of episode, and I have not decided whether or not I'm just going to do a regular episode, acknowledge that it's episode number 300, and then just keep going. I don't know. Maybe I'll do an episode with my pants off. Maybe I'll do that as a celebration of episode number 300. It'll be the episode where I don't have any pants on. Maybe I'll even go a step further and not only do an episode with no pants on, do an episode with no pants on, but I'll dig one of the fans out of the garage and I'll blow cool air onto my buttocks as I do the episode. It'll be episode 300. Bottomless with cool air on the buttocks. How about that? Wouldn't that be a great episode? You're going, this guy seems to be very, very happy during this episode. He's having a great time. It's almost as if he's sitting at his desk with no pants on, with air being blown onto his naked buttocks as he records this episode. Then again, how do you know I'm not doing it right now? I could be right now sitting here with no pants on, having wonderful air blown onto my buttocks, enjoying the day. I could be doing that right now. Maybe I have the fan on one side of me and it's only blowing air on my left buttock cheek. Maybe I'm doing that. Maybe there's a fan here on the right side blowing air on my right buttocks cheek. You don't know. Maybe I have a fan hanging from the ceiling blowing down on me. I'm not going to say where it's going, but let's just say since it's on top and I will be laying down at that point and the air will be coming down. It would not be being blown on my buttocks cheek. It would be being blown on someplace else. I'm not going to say what it is, but it rhymes with junk. Okay, I'm not going to do that. Or maybe I am. This got weird and we didn't even get started yet. Okay, let's actually start the damn episode because I'm starting to feel like this is getting weird, dude. Just do the damn show, okay? Okay, actually, you probably don't feel that way because you've been listening to me this long. This isn't even as weird as it got in episode 2, and this is episode number 295. Do you want to start the podcast now? Of course we do. Fantastic. Now, folks, two things happened. Two things happened that are pretty interesting. And they kind of tie together in a way, and you'll see what I'm talking about in a minute. I ran into an old girlfriend, and I also ran into an old friend of mine, from when I was younger who was visiting New Jersey. I ran into both of them, not at the same time. And as it turns out, they don't actually even know each other, nor do they meet each other, but they all know me. And I had lots of sex with one of them. I'm going to give you a hint. It was the old girlfriend, not the friend. Now, my friend he's an IT guy now, but when we were younger, as I was traveling around telling jokes to drunk people, he was studying computer science and computer technology and how to build computers and all of that crap. And he's in the IT department at some company now. I'm not going to say the company's name. When we were younger, he used to build computers for himself. And he would also, to make some money, would build computers from scratch for other people. He didn't want to go to a regular job and people wanted to buy computers and he knew how to fix them and he knew how to build them. So he just did that from his apartment, made enough money. Everybody else is going to some stupid job. You go to his house and he has motherboards laid all over the place and computer shells and hard drives and all of that crap. He'd buy the components after getting half the money from his customer. Build the computer, get the rest of the bread, and everything was great. In fact, his computers worked very, very well. They didn't really have any problems, so he didn't have any problems. His word spread, and he had just enough computers and built just enough of that crap where that was what he did while he went to school, and he didn't have to go to work at Burger King or some crap like that. He never had to do that crap. And I would watch him build these computers. I never had him build one for me. I could have, but I just kind of I like to buy my stuff from the store. Cause when I thought about what he was doing to put these freaking things together, and I saw how much he charged these people, I would only, if I got him to make the computer, I basically would have only been saving about $28. But, unlike the computers that you would get at the store, his computers did not come with a warranty. And if anything went wrong, I would have to go back to him. And I didn't want to get into a situation where, I'm hanging out with my buddy and I have to nonchalantly try to figure out a way to let him know that he effed up my computer. He didn't, but you know what I'm saying. What's going on, man? Hey, what's going on? I say, hey, what's going on, man? Yeah, let's watch the game. Yeah, this game is great. I understand that quarterback is about one touchdown away from breaking a record. Speaking of things that are broken, and my computer's broken, you piece of crap. Now fix my crap if I kick you in the face, you bastard. I didn't want to get into that. Okay. So so people go, yes, your boy. How come you didn't get one of the computers from your boy? And I'm like, he's my boy and everything, but I kind of wanted to just keep that separate. So what I noticed was when he would fix his own computers, he would just basically, if something went wrong, because he had parts laying all over the place, he would just very, very slowly and methodically, he didn't even repair things. He would just say, I'm sick of this. He would just yank something out and replace it with something else because he had the parts laying around. And very slowly but surely, you'd see the same casing, but the computer was actually different after a while. I mean, it got to the point where all the components in the computer had been replaced with other components. So you still had the outer box of the same computer, but the crap inside was all new crap and better crap. And I was saying, that's kind of like what I do. And he goes, what? I said, well, I mean, if you really think about it, it's like I do my stand-up act when and if I'm not writing an act as one piece, meaning I'm going to write an hour of material for this year, I'm going to perform this for a year while I'm writing the next hour, this, that, and the other. If I wasn't doing that, what I was doing was constantly writing material. So if you saw me in January, right, and then you saw me again in June, by the time you saw me in June, I had slowly and methodically just started adding new material. And as I added a new piece of material, another piece would be pushed off to the side and would be relegated to the notepad or to or recording in an archive. And very slowly it would just the jokes, the new bits would push the other bits out. So if you saw me in the summertime and you saw me in January, you saw me again, you may see a bit or two. In most cases, you didn't see any of any old stuff. I had just kind of pushed it out. So I'd be the same comedian, but by the time you saw me again, all the material had been pushed out of the way. The old stuff still worked. I could go back and pull it up if I wanted to and use it, but I'd rather do the new stuff. And it was like that. So I'm the same person, but all the components were different. And he goes, yeah, that does make sense. That does make sense. I said, yeah. And it was the same. And I started to realize that's kind of the same thing we do as human beings too, right? You look like the same person, but if you're evolving very slowly, all the new updates you make for yourself kind of come online, and some of the stuff, the old behaviors start to push themselves out of the way. Like you're basically the same person. I'm basically the same person I was 3 months ago, but I've decided, you know what? I'm not going to eat a lot of stuff with cholesterol in it. So I kind of just push eating stuff with cholesterol off the edge. And then all of a sudden I'm going to eat some vegetables, and I add more vegetables. I haven't been working out enough, and you start adding a little bit of working out. And that working out time, that hour of working out, it kind of pushes off just watching television off the edge. Boom. Now you got the vegetables and the working out, and cholesterol and not working out gets kind of pushed off. I'm not going to do this bad behavior anymore. I'm going to do this good behavior. And that good behavior gets added to it, and it pushes everything off to the side. And very slowly, very methodically, you start to become a little bit different. And as you take each component and add it to yourself, you push stuff off to the side. And then after a while, you're not the same person anymore. You don't even realize what happened. I remember doing my act one time, and a guy walked up and said, I saw you a few months ago and you were doing a different act. Now this is all new stuff. And I said, oh, really? And I realized, yeah, that's what was happening. Excuse me. I was just pushing stuff in, and stuff fell off the other side. Now, why did I bring that up? I bring that up because, as I said, I also ran into an old girlfriend. Excuse me. And have you ever just run into somebody and you didn't realize how much you changed until the other person notices that you changed some, right? Went into the old girlfriend, and she physically is basically the same. I mean, it's been a while, but she looks basically the same, and we ran into each other. And all of the stuff that made us hate each other's guts and not want to be around each other and all of that, you don't even think about that stuff anymore. All you think about is you're happy with your life. And as it turns out, she's happy with her life. You run into each other. You're happy again. You're hanging out. You see each other. And because neither one of you is seeing anyone else, and you remember that you like the stuff she liked the stuff I did to her genitals, and I liked the stuff she did to my genitals. And I still remember the stuff I wanted to do to her genitals and the stuff I wanted her to do to my genitals, and she remembered the stuff I did to her genitals and stuff she wanted me to do to her genitals. And we're looking at each other and we're having a good time and we're laughing and joking and joking and laughing and laughing and joking and joking and laughing. And I bend over to get something and I catch her looking at my butt going yum, and she reaches up to get something and I look at her chest and think yum, and we're looking at each other and thinking yum, and we start and all of a sudden it starts to get into lovey-dovey talking, and I don't know why we broke up, and I don't know why we broke up, and the next thing you know, I now know what her saliva tastes like. Why? Because her tongue's down my throat. I also remember what her butt feels like because I'm now feeling it while our tongues around each other's throats. We're slobbing each other down and feeling each other up and doing stuff sideways. Okay, we weren't doing anything sideways, but there was some slobbing down and some feeling up. And then we kind of standing there, and I know what's about to happen, and she knows what's about to happen because some stuff's about to happen. And she goes, I'm not really familiar with this town. I'm just staying at a hotel and all of that kind of crap, and I'm catching an Uber. And I'm going, you don't need to catch an Uber. I'll take you back to your hotel room. And I'm just taking you back to your hotel room to save you the $11 on an Uber. I'm definitely not taking you back to a hotel because your tongue was just down my throat. You grabbed my butt. I grabbed your butt, and you now have your hands on my genitals. It has nothing to do with that. I definitely don't plan on going back to your hotel room and taking you to Pound City, Bangville, Bangtown, Bang City, and Pumptown. There has nothing. And then I took her back to a hotel room, and then we banged the crap out of each other a few times. And then we have a cup of coffee. And we're sitting there laughing and joking and joking and laughing and joking and laughing and laughing and joking. And I took her back to a hotel room, and we banged the crap out of each other again. And I'm sitting there going, I'm thinking, man, it was great. I remember how much I enjoyed getting it on with her. And this is great. This is kind of cool. She seems like a completely wonderful human being. I mean, we have both matured since then, and this is great. This is just great. This is great. We could just get right back together again. This is great. We enjoyed the banging. The banging is even better than the banging before because I've gotten better at banging and she's gotten better at banging and we've gotten better at banging each other. But this is great and fantastic and incredible and fantastic. And she comes out of the shower with a towel on and I go, oh crap. And then I jump back on top of her and we bang the crap out of each other again. I'm sorry. We did just what happened. I'm just trying to tell you a story about the fact that I ran into an ex who was in town and then we banged the crap out of each other, okay? But as the day went on and we continued viciously banging the crap out of each other during the course of the day, I started to notice that she was very, very similar to the way she was before when we broke up. And I was starting to see why we broke up, because all of a sudden, even though we were having a great time and we enjoyed getting it on with each other, she started to do the little things she used to do back then that used to drive me crazy. There was always the little snide comments, the little digs. There was all these little nasty things she used to do, little things that I thought that she would be a different person, and as it turns out, she was expecting me to react the same way, little things she would do to intentionally antagonize yours truly. I would look back and it was almost, you seen the movie The Matrix, right? When Neo had started to discover the kind of power that he actually had, and the bad guys in the movie would start punching at him, and he now had the ability to avoid the punches and almost look at their hands or the bullets that were coming in his direction with curiosity, not even any fear, because he knew he had the ability to evade them and to dismiss them. But he was kind of looking at them as if, well, I guess he's throwing a punch now. Let me it's actually moving in slow motion now because I now have a different level of skill, a different level of power, a different level of maturity, and these things don't bother me. I'm listening to her say things and make snide comments and trying to be rude and trying to be mean and trying to pick a fight and all these kind of things. And it's not even getting a rise out of me. Years earlier, I would have bought into it. Oh yeah, well, how about you, Tom? You give it. Oh yeah, well, what about you and your bip bip bip? I didn't even have any interest in that. It was very, very similar to when a 5-year-old, not that I'm equating this adult female with a 5-year-old, but I'm just giving you an idea of what I'm talking about. You ever have a 5-year-old say, like your kid or your niece or your nephew flip out and say something mean to try to get you to be upset? Or maybe they throw something across the room, but the thing they're throwing is actually just a pillow from the couch, so you don't give a crap because you've already baby-proofed your house. There's nothing they can do to mess up your furniture because you've moved everything that they can mess up. So they're throwing pencils and they throw a pillow across the thing. They pick up a Nerf football and throw it, and they're trying to get a rise out of you, and you're just looking at them like, really? Seriously? The needle isn't even moving. It doesn't bother you at all. And she's trying to say mean stuff about me, and I'm looking at her like, are you kidding me with this? Right? And she's looking at you with curiosity because she knows she's taking her best shots at you. Said the worst thing she could possibly say. Try to bring up crap from the past, and you're just looking at her like you're Neo, and she's one of the guards trying to take a punch at you, and you're just going, you gotta be kidding me with this. Now, remember what I said a little bit earlier about how sometimes, like with the stand-up act, I'd add new things and would push other things off the other side. Or in my personal life, when I would add good habits and they would slowly push the bad habit off to the side. I realized that my emotional responses to things had been changed also. There had been updates to my computer. And on the other end, it was like when someone says something mean about me that I know is not true, there's really no reason to adjust to react to it because it's not true. It doesn't matter. And I had made that adjustment and then pushed it in, and the other stuff that would flip out when she would say these things, well, that was one of the things that fell off the edge right into the trash. Right? And the more she did things, the more she would try to do things to antagonize me, to make me feel bad, to make me feel inadequate, to make me feel like a crap. I realized that those updates had already been put into the system, and the other thing fell off the side, right into the trash can. All these new components have been added to what makes me, and all of the things that she would do to annoy me and to make me feel bad, to make me go actually be driving home after a great date from her back in the day when I thought everything was going good, and she would say something to ruin the whole day. Oh, sorry, that update had already been applied, and the thing fell off to the side. And she started to look at me the same way I looked at my friend's computer when my friend's computer was different. You know, I noticed that it looked exactly the same, but it wasn't the same. It was not the same at all. All the components inside had been changed, and it no longer reacted the same way. It was actually a lot better and faster and stronger and more powerful than it was before. And I realized that had happened to me. I realized I was not the same dude that she knew back in the day. And she kind of figured it out too. It was almost like she was disappointed with the fact that I didn't react exactly the same way when she started doing the same weird, wacky crap she did before. All the updates had been made. All the additions had happened already. And she didn't know how to react to it. And I just sat there. And keep in mind, we're still sitting there on the edge of the bed. She's trying to pick a fight like she used to. And she started to look at me funny. You ever see one of those old movies where a person is, you know, like this, a person is trying to do trying to scam somebody out of some money, and they think everything's going great, and then they realize the jig is up. Maybe they realize that the person's an undercover police officer, and now, in their attempt to try to commit this crime, they realize now that all they were doing was basically just giving information to the undercover cop so they could now go to jail. It was that level of realization on her face. She realized, oh, I done effed up. Because when I was younger, I would have put up with that crap just because I really, you know how you are when you're younger, when you're in your 20s, you put up with that, or when you're a teenager, sometimes people in their 30s, sometimes people older. You just want to get it on with that person. You enjoy getting it on with that person so much that you put up with a whole lot of crap that you shouldn't put up with just because you want to get it on with that person. And when I was younger, I was that guy. I put up with a lot of crap just because I wanted to get it on with this particular person. But I have gotten it on with several people afterwards. And once again, the computer, me, had been updated. I didn't react the same way anymore. And I also knew that it wasn't worth putting up with this crap just to get it on with someone when I can't get it on with pretty much anybody else. And I could actually see the look of the realization hit her face that, oh crap, this ain't working anymore. I just looked at her and I said, you know what? It was really nice seeing you again. And she goes, yeah, it was nice seeing you again too. We both kind of smiled at each other and I gave her a kiss on the forehead. You know, the kind of kiss on your forehead that lets you know that the person realizes that what's going on between you two is never going to happen again. It'll never work out. The kind of kiss on the forehead you get when somebody kisses you on the forehead when you're at an airport and you were dating them and they're about to get on a plane to overseas and you know damn well that's the last time you'll ever see them again. That kind of kiss on the forehead. Well, I gave her that kiss on the forehead and she knew. The computer had been updated and now what we had back then didn't exist anymore. And then I got dressed and I walked out of the room. Then I realized I'd never see her again. Okay, you know what? Let me stop lying to you people. That's not exactly what happened. All of that is true except for the part about what happened after the kiss on the forehead. I actually kissed her on the forehead and said, listen, this ain't working out, but since we're already naked, can we bang each other a couple of more times? She said, yeah, it's not going to work out, but let's destroy each other a couple of more times. And then, of course, I jumped on top of her and we banged the crap out of each other 3 more times that day. Then I left. I know it would have been better for the story if I had just said, oh, and then I walked off into the sunset, a more mature man and I knew it was time to make a clean break, but she was still naked. And I'm like, I might as well get it on with her again. I'm not an idiot. Don't judge me. You would have done the same thing. Shut up. But the point I was trying to make, my friends, is a lot of times you, the computer, are making updates. You're making updates and updates and updates and updates, and you don't realize that you got a lot better than you were before. You don't even realize it until something comes along to let you know that you've made an improvement. And you don't even know you made those improvements. It's like when you I'll put it to you this way. I remember losing weight and not knowing that I lost weight. I noticed my clothes were hanging off a little baggy, but I didn't realize I had lost weight. And then I ran up the steps and I wasn't out of breath. And I'm going, oh, sometimes you don't know you made the updates. But when you find out that you did make the updates, isn't that the freaking coolest thing in the world? They go, damn, I didn't even realize I got better, but I am better and I'm glad I'm better. And those are the things that were going through my mind when I ran across those 2 people. It was good seeing my old friend again. He was a great guy. And now we've reconnected and, we text each other and we call each other and, we do the video calling and all that kind of stuff. And it was great seeing my old girlfriend, knowing that I had matured as a person. And even though she's a nice enough person, it was obvious that whatever it was that broke us up in the first place, it was still there. And there was no reason to even try to go through all of that crap again, And I'm upset because she still, it was like, I really thought that this was going to be somebody, I met somebody from my past I really cared about and was great and all that kind of crap. And I thought I was going to get together with them again. I thought I was going to be back with her again. And she probably thought she was going to be back with me. And even though I'm proud of myself for having matured, I'm a little disappointed that it didn't work out. And it bums me out a little bit. But I'll be honest with you. If someone has said to me, listen, you're going to reconnect with 2 people. One of them is going to be an old friend that's going to be going to be a friend of yours again. And your friendship is going to just go on and be even better than it was before. And then you're going to run across an old girlfriend who's still super, super hot to you. You and her are going to get it on about 24 times in a 3-day period. And then, you're going to break up and everything and there'll be no repercussions. She's not going to get pregnant. You're going to use safe sex the whole time. It's going to be fantastic getting it on sessions. And then she's going to go away. I would have said, you know what? I'm cool with it. a woman I enjoyed getting it on with before, and then I get to get it on with her 23 more times in a 3-day period, and then all of a sudden she disappears when she starts becoming annoying. I'm okay with that. I remember just kind of jumping a little bit around. I remember somebody, was a guy that was dating a celebrity. I forgot what celebrity it was, but he was like a backed up dancer for her or something like that. And people were laughing at him because she dumped him after 2 years of dating. And I said to myself, one of my friends was laughing, and I said, let me ask you a question, dude. This is an important question. If somebody came up to you and said, listen, see that super duper star, mega star, sex symbol with the incredible body, looking delicious and everything? You're going to get to date her for 2 years. You're going to get it on with her for 80% of that time. Then she's going to abruptly dump you, hand you $1 million and say, have a nice life. Would you be upset about that? Would you go, listen, I don't want to be in this relationship, damn it, unless it lasts forever. I don't care if I get to have sex with an icon for almost 2 years and then leave with $1 million after taxes. I don't want that crap. If you would have, what would you have said? And I said, you're right, S. The guy did do pretty good, because if somebody just told me I was going to have one night with this particular person, I would have been cool with it. But he had to have 2 years worth of nights with that person and left with $1 million after 2 years of nights with that person. As it turns out, you're right, as I shouldn't laugh at that bastard. I should applaud the bastard. And I said, you're right. So we stood up and we applauded that bastard for getting it on with that super duper hot superstar for 2 years and getting $1 million out of it. I'm telling you right now, there's nothing funny about that. That man should be applauded for that. I digress. But the point I'm making is sometimes we make improvements in ourselves and we don't even realize we made the improvements. But when you do realize you made the improvement, you should just stand up and give yourself a little mental applause. Applaud for yourself mentally, because you deserve it. Because it means that you've been doing the right things, and I've been doing the right things. And I'm glad I'm doing the right things. What would have been really cool is if all my old girlfriends that I still think are cuties would come back and bang me 23 times in a 3-day period. I'm going to put that out there to my old girlfriends. If there's any old girlfriends who are listening to this podcast, if you're single and disease free, would you do me a favor, like that girlfriend that I just mentioned in the podcast? Is there any way you could fly to the East Coast, bang the crap out of me 23 times in a 3-day period, and then go away again, because that's rude. Okay, sorry. This segment is now officially gone off the rails, so I'm going to end it. Segment over. My friends, I want to talk to you about the days of the week and how we're unfair to the days of the week. We are really completely unfair to the days of the week. We show certain days of the week preference, and that's not fair at all. I was just looking at how we treat the days of the week and how horrible we are to some and how good we are to some of the other days of the week. Right now, I'm recording this on a Sunday, and nobody gives a crap about Sunday, do you? Of course you don't. Sunday's just that day you maybe if football season ain't on, you really don't give a crap about Sunday. They even call Sundays lazy Sundays. That ain't fair, and that ain't nice, damn it. Everybody loves Saturday, but that's okay. Saturday is that day you sit down, you get to do whatever you want. You get to party. You know that the next day you don't have to do anything. And the day before you were pretending not to do nothing. It's just one of those days. It's just, you're glad to see it. Saturday is like an old friend that you get to hang out with. You can't wait till that bastard shows up. You can't wait to hang out with that bastard. And what do? Nothing but fun. All fun on Saturday. You go fishing on Saturday. If you were like me when I lived in LA and when I lived in New York, on Saturday, sometimes you got to spend it with your girlfriend. And with somebody like me, Saturday, not only did I get to spend time with my girlfriend, I got to spend time with my girlfriend, go off someplace, tell jokes to people, and then go back and have sex with my girlfriend. That was what Saturday was like. And as you can tell, I always love Saturdays, because Saturdays were a fantastic day. But it's not about Saturday, which is the best day of all time, and Sunday, which just doesn't get treated right because we have the nerve to call it lazy. That ain't fair. That ain't fair at all. But let me tell you something right now, my friends. I want to talk about the weekdays, because the weekdays, I think, get the worst of it, my friends. The weekdays get the worst of it. Which day gets the worst of it? Let's run through them and see which day gets the worst out of this whole situation, my friend. Let's start off with Monday. Now, was Monday a bad guy? No, Monday's not a bad guy. Monday's just doing its job. It's not Monday's fault that we arbitrarily pick that day of the week to start work. It's not Monday's fault, right? You wake up, it's Monday. Damn. That's what you say when you wake up. Monday didn't even get a chance to get started. You're still naked. Right? Your breath still stinks. You didn't even get out of the bed and you're already saying bad things about Monday when Monday didn't do a damn thing to you in the first place, and you should feel ashamed of yourself for saying bad things about Monday when Monday didn't do anything. Yeah, you got to go to work on Monday. You should be happy if you got a job. You should be going, yay, I get to do something that's going to get me money to pay my bills. Yay, Monday's great. Monday's the beginning of me doing stuff that's going to get me money. But no, you don't. You wake up and you go, Monday. Damn. Was that fair? I don't think so. But what about the next day of the week, Tuesday? What about Tuesday? How do you think Tuesday feels? Even though you're mean to Monday, at least you acknowledge Monday's existence. And you know what I'm saying? It's like when you really don't like somebody, or if you hate somebody, at least you give them some attention. And even if they don't like it, at least you give them some attention. Tuesday, you don't even act like Tuesday exists. Tuesday never gets any damn nicknames. Tuesday gets nothing. Yeah, Monday sucks. What about Tuesday? Tuesday, what was that? Never heard of it. That's what I'm talking about. That's just rude. Tuesday's like the kid that is like the youngest kid that gets born, right? And all the other kids are 10 years older. And you kind of going, I don't know if mom or dad really meant to have me. They probably thought that they couldn't have a baby when they were in their 40s. So they stopped wearing condoms and all of a sudden they had me. And I kind of get the feeling that when the other babies were born, when the other kids were born, dad was pumping his fist and doing cigars and all of that crap. But when I was born, I have a feeling. When I was born, I have a feeling he went, and slapped himself in the face and then tried to make himself look happy to make mom feel better, mom was probably also going, damn it, like that. But they're like, all right, one last punk ass kid, even if we didn't want this punk ass kid, because our other punk ass kids are about to go, the last one is about to go to college, and we were going to be able to run around the house and enjoy it, wear drawers and be disgusting and just not do crap. And now we got to raise this punk ass bastard. That's what Tuesday probably feels like. And then Wednesday shows up, and the Wednesday, hump day. Oh, hump day. We're over the hump. Oh, most of the week's over. It's Wednesday, and everybody's giving Wednesday accolades, and Wednesday is sitting there all smug like, yeah, when you get to me, it means the week's more than half over. Means you only got one more real day of work, because we know damn well what's going to happen on Friday. And Wednesday shows up at the bar and everybody's like, hey, Wednesday, what's going on, man? Hey, what's going on? Tell us some wonderful things about how our week is almost over. You know what, guys? What? Your week's almost over. Yeah! Wednesday, everybody. Drinks on the house. Wednesday. Yay! Realizes when Wednesday gets here, how did Wednesday get here? Wednesday doesn't have a license. Wednesday doesn't have a license. How did Wednesday get to the bar to hang out with everybody? He got driven to the bar by his good friend Thursday. And you know what Thursday's like, right? Thursday's that friend that hangs out with the friend, right? You're okay with him because he comes with the friend. Why does Wednesday get more accolades than Thursday? Thursday is actually better during the week because now you only have one day left. But there's no nickname for Thursday. You got a nickname for Wednesday, and that doesn't even make any sense. You should call instead of talking about Hump Day Wednesday, you should be calling Thursday should be Final Lap Thursday or Almost Over Thursday. You know what I'm saying? You should be calling Thursday should be getting those accolades. Wednesday's like the friend that looks kind of good, got a nice swag, got the nice glasses, the nice clothes, right? And Thursday's the friend that's in business with him that does most of the work but doesn't get any other credit, but still gets to hang around with Wednesday and just says, you know what, I guess this is my lot in life. They're going to give all the love to Wednesday, not realizing that I'm the one that's really the last day where they actually are going to be doing anything at work. But that's okay. That's okay. I can deal with it. I've learned to live with it. But let's talk about the real star of the week. And it ain't Wednesday. Wednesday's a kind of a star. Wednesday's kind of like the second banana on a hit show, right? But Friday's the real star. When Friday walks into the bar, everybody you start playing Celebration by Kool and the Gang, because you know damn well Friday actually is the last day of the week. And of all the days in the week, it's the best day of the week. Why? Because first of all, it's the last one. And second of all, if you're like everybody else in America or everybody else in the world, if Friday is the last day of your work week, you know damn well you ain't doing a damn thing at work. You know what you're doing? You spend the whole day trying to figure out how to do as little as possible, because you already know you are going to, at somewhere near about an hour away from leaving that place, you ain't doing crap. And the rest of the time, you're going to be trying not to do crap. You can't wait until Friday. In fact, they say, thank God it's Friday. Nobody ever says, thank God it's Monday, or thank God it's Tuesday, or thank God it's Wednesday, or thank God it's Thursday. You don't want to thank God for that crap, because those days stink, because you're actually going to be doing something. But Friday, oh, thank God for Friday. Yay. You don't even say thank God for Saturday, and Saturday's the best day because you don't got to do anything. But you say thank God it's Friday. And I often wondered if these days of the week ever get upset by the way we treat them. I know you're probably going, that's kind of weird, dude. What the hell are you talking about? But I'm just saying that's just the way I feel about things. Like today's Sunday. And Sunday just kind of sits there, looking at all the other days of the week and going, this kind of sucks. They can't even really enjoy me. They can only enjoy the first third of me, right? They can't stay out late because Monday's going to show up. They can't do really in anything big, because if they do it, they're going to be late for work. So I'm just kind of sitting there like the person you're sharing a cab with on the way home. I'm just kind of there. You know, I feel bad for Sunday. But then I started thinking about it. Maybe I shouldn't feel bad for Sunday. If you really think about it, Sunday's actually a very, very good and a very, very important and a very, very special day, because even though, like I said, Sundays without football sucks, there is something that happens every Sunday as of right now that makes Sundays worthwhile and special and incredible. And what is that thing? You listen to it. You're listening to it right now, because every Sunday I put out this podcast. So as it turns out, I was wrong about everything I just said. Sunday's incredible. Why? Because you get to listen to me. Granted, it usually comes out Sunday night, which means Sunday's pretty much over. And from what I understand, a lot of you actually just download this Sunday night and listen to it on Monday. So technically, Sunday, I really don't have anything. In fact, I don't have to give Sunday. I don't need to give you any credit for this podcast, because even though I recorded or record the last piece of it on Sunday and then upload it on Sunday for people to listen to, you know, it's just kind of an arbitrary thing. Sunday, you shouldn't get any credit for this, because most people, you know, start listening to it on Monday. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not going to get no credit? Nah, man. Come on, man. I have it bad enough, you know, when football season's over and everybody talks about how much I suck. You know, I was kind of looking forward to getting some credit for your Double Genius podcast and how incredible it is. Well, Sunday, I mean, you do get some credit, because I do record the podcast on you, but you know what I mean? I mean, by the time I put the podcast out, like today, by the time I put the podcast out today, it'll be Sunday night, and people are going to go, no, I want to listen to S on the way into work. So that's what they've been telling people. Write me and say they downloaded Sunday night, and sometimes they download it in the morning and listen to it on the way to work. So technically for them, even though this comes out Sunday, sometimes Sunday afternoon or Sunday night, depending on my schedule, you know, it really doesn't have anything much to do with you. Most of the people that listen to this podcast listen to it on days of the week that aren't Sunday. You know, the people listening to this podcast didn't know that. All they know is that your podcast comes out on me. So I was getting all the credit. So basically what you're going to do right now is you're going to show up, and the only thing I get on Sunday is football season, and football season's almost over. Football season and the legendary, double delicious, incredibly funny, genius, quadruple genius, as Anthony says, podcast. And you're going to take that from me. Look, Sunday, you know, sometimes I misspeak. You know, as it turns out, you're right. Just because most people don't listen to it on Sunday because it comes out late Sunday and they listen to it on the other days, you deserve credit, because you are the day where the podcast is actually finished. So, you know what? As it turns out, Because I don't want to treat you like Thursday gets treated. This is not about Thursday. I don't care about how those other guys get treated. Okay? Everybody has Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday underwear. And Saturday don't even wear underwear. But on me, they wear the old drawers, and then they wash the drawers they actually care about, and then they hand wash the Sunday drawers. I don't even get to the Sunday drawers don't even get to get in the washing machine. This is some bull, man. Yeah, I didn't really think about it from your perspective. I mean, wow, you actually are the day that has it worse than anybody else. I didn't even think about that. I'm sorry, Sunday. Thank you. At least somebody acknowledges it, because every time somebody says Sunday, I'm the one, the number one sport is football. Everybody watches football on me, right? But they don't go, yeah, man, it's Sunday, let's watch football. They just go, football. They acknowledge that Sunday's played on me, right? Everybody ever think? Right? How do you think I feel on Sundays, me, when football is over with and there's nothing to watch? Well, usually basketball comes on Sunday. Nobody cares about basketball on me. Nobody gives a damn about that crap. The only thing they care about is when basketball is in the playoffs, and none of the playoff games are on me, but they're late on me. And people just complaining, why are these games so late on Sunday? Like I had something to do with it. I did not. Sorry. Well, Sunday, what I do when football season is over, and this is really great, I watch YouTube videos sometimes, and sometimes I'll watch movies that I didn't get to. So I sit back and I actually enjoy, I enjoy you a lot. I mean, if you really think about it as a comedian, when I go back out on the road, you're going to be a very important day of the week for me, because I'll be doing shows on Fridays and Saturdays, and then I'll be traveling on you. Oh, so I'm the day that you travel. Great. So you're going to be getting on airplanes. You're going to be complaining about how the airport sucks. You're going to be complaining about everything. You're going to get home, and then you're going to use me to do laundry and pay bills. Does that sound like fun? Huh? You're going to be looking forward to paying bills and doing laundry on me? I really didn't even think about it that way. Maybe I should, to do laundry during the other days of the week. I mean, and then, just like relax on you. But I mean, if you really think about it, if you really think about it, I could do laundry on Monday, and I could do bills, on Mondays, and then, and do as a relaxation day where I don't do any working out. I don't do workout at all. I'll just watch movies, relax, and enjoy you. How about that? I really appreciate that, man. That's a good thing. I mean, if you would do that for me, I'd really appreciate it. You know what, Sunday, I'm not going to be like everybody else that just ignores you and act like you're nothing. I'm going to do that for you. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much. All right. I got to go out and deal with the rest of the people on the planet and be completely disrespected and overlooked like I normally have been for millennia. But not by me. So you have that to look forward to. Okay. All right. Take care, Sunday. All right. Thank you. All right. Yeah. Sunday's a really great guy. He's gone. Hell no. I think I'm about the real days of the week by doing that crap on them other days. I actually have respect for them other days of the week. Sometimes when I watch football, I don't even pay attention to the fact that it's Sunday because I'm still here, right? Oh, sorry. I was just, sometimes I do that on the podcast, when it's like when somebody leaves, I playfully trash them just for the, to make my audience laugh. I didn't really mean any of the things I was saying when I thought you were gone, so I'm sorry about that. Is it, could you leave again? I'm going to continue trashing you, but I want to let you know that as I trash you, I don't really mean it. Is that okay? Okay. All right. There's really nothing I could do about it. I'm just a day. It's not like I have arms and legs where I could kick your ass with them. That is pretty true. In fact, you're really just me doing the voice to the right side of the microphone. Oh. Yeah, you don't exist. Oh, then never mind. Okay, fantastic. Now listen, folks. I know that you, my friends, the bastard army out there, I'm about to end this podcast. And normally what I do is I kind of chop the segments up, and at the end, I would finish this segment and say, segment over, and do that. And then I'd put that little sound effect of the channel changing, and then I'd go off and I'd record a separate segment where I say goodbye to you and tell you all the places that I am. But I got news for you. I'm not using my regular equipment this week, so it's a little bit more difficult for me to do. I'm not home, so I'm using bits and pieces of something else to record this. So hopefully it'll sound like it normally sounds, but I'm not working with my I am not working with my regular equipment this time, so it's going to be a little more difficult to put this podcast together than I normally do. That's why it sounds a little different, and that's why it's being edited a little bit differently. So what I'm going to do now, basically, like I said, this podcast is over, and I just want to, you guys have been really, really cool to me, over the course of these 4 years, 295 episodes. And one of the things I noticed, and I've talked about this on other people's shows, and I talked about this when people ask me what podcasting is like. And one of the things I've noticed about podcasting is it's a weird thing insofar as people either really, 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 really like what you do, or they don't know you exist. I mean, that's the dynamic. People who listen to you, if they keep listening, they really, really, really dig you, or they don't know you exist. So I'm going to thank you guys for really, really, really digging me and digging this. It means a lot to me. Now, this podcast obviously is called the S. Anthony Says Podcast, and the damn thing is everywhere. This podcast is on Spotify, iHeartRadio, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher Radio, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, and the home base is santhonysays.podbean.com. That's the home base for the podcast. For those of you that wanted to send me email, now if you want to, you can direct to me on Twitter. I'm on Twitter in two places. I'm at S. Anthony Thomas, which is for me, and at S. Anthony Says, which is the Twitter for the podcast. I'm also on Instagram at S. Anthony Thomas, and the email to me is talk2santhony@gmail.com. talk2santhony@gmail.com. So if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions, or declarations of love, please feel free to send them to that address. It would be much appreciated. I know you're doing it already, but there's new people listening all the time, so I have to reiterate it. So stop sending me email going, "Hey man, we already got the email address, man." I know that, you bastards, but some people don't have it. Okay? So, Bastard Army, I want very, very much for everything that you do. I'm going to say goodbye the way I always say goodbye, and I know that you say it with me. So, are you ready on the count of three? Of course you are. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. S. Anthony